Planet Dolan. You ever wondered what Aladdin would look like as a girl, or if Professor Utonium was the Powerpuff Girls' mother figure instead of father? Great! Here are 15 of your favourite cartoon guys redrawn as girls. The art for this video was done by our very own Doopy Doo Irva. Go check out her Twitter. Hope you enjoy. I'm Danger Dolan, and today I will be your narrator.
Number 15.
In the original Tarzan story, Tarzan is a man raised by apes, and Jane is a proper English lady who decides to stay with him. So think about flipping the script. Jane, or maybe Jack, John, is an English gentleman, and Tarzan looks like this. Would it turn out the same?
Number 14.
If Peter Pan was a girl, would Tinkerbell still be her best friend? Would it be weird that she was the leader of a bunch of teenagers called the Lost Boys? Also, there's Captain Hook's fixation on capturing her. That's already pretty creepy. This might turn that up a notch.
Number 13.
What if the strongest man in the world and Greek demigod Hercules was actually the strongest woman in the world? So basically this would be a movie starring Zaya mixed with a bit of Arnold Schwarzenegger. Sounds okay.
I'm pregnant.
It might be a tumor.
Number 12.
In a world full of super buff masculine action heroes, Milo always stood out for being a skinny guy who used his brain. Quiet nerdy thing carries over pretty well, right down to the overcoat. And in this case, Milo's relationship with Akita may not even be all that different. But Milo's research is already considered laughable. Considering the movie takes place in 1914, would a female Milo even be able to work as a Smithsonian? After all, she wouldn't be able to vote.
Number 11.
Female Aladdin would look pretty awesome jumping around doing acrobatics across Agrabah, right? The relationship between a crown prince and a beautiful homeless girl might just be a bit Cinderella-y. Of course, that's assuming a gender swap Jasmine as well.
Number 10.
Marco refers to himself as a misunderstood bad boy, which nobody really buys. This makes it even harder to get behind. Look at this face! Imagine her telling you she's a misunderstood bad girl. Of course, it make the relationship with Star pretty interesting. See how it pans out.
Number 9.
Gender swap Misty cosplay is a pretty common trope now, but this actually makes perfect sense. If Ash was a girl though, would she still be using Pikachu and ground types? Or is being a crap trainer just part of the character no matter what? Also, Brock still doesn't have eyes. That's true regardless of his gender.
Number 8.
The gender swaps of the Powerpuff Girls are actually canon in this series in the form of the Rowdy Rough Boys. But you'd have to wonder how things would play out differently if the Professor was a single mother instead of single father. Professor is actually a gender neutral term anyway, so if you close your eyes while watching, pretty much nothing would change.
Number 7.
Dr. Draken's outfit pretty much works perfectly like this, and not much would likely change with the supervillain persona. Men and women can both grandstand about their world domination plans. Ron's personality, meanwhile, would likely be about the same as it ever was. Of course, she eventually becomes Kim Possible's boyfriend. Whether that relationship plays out, same, is up to you.
Number 6.
It doesn't really matter whether Cusco is a boy or girl. The name fits, so do the clothes. The most important thing about Cusco is the need to be a smug little jerk. Big question is, who would be a good choice to voice her? David Spade gave Cusco a dry sense of humour before. Who should do it now?
Number 5.
Steven Universe is already, bucking gender norms, so you could probably sub a gender swap into the show and things would go basically exactly the same. Of course, a lot of the appeal of the show is Steven trying to live up to the legacy of his mother, which is largely interesting because Steven's a male character. She was just a small girl being protected by much stronger companions, might, be a little bit tropey.
Number 4.
No amount of gender swapping is going to change the amount of weed Shaggy consumes on a daily basis. And Freddy's ascot looks pretty cool now. All it took was to use a hair ribbon instead of an actual ascot. The original ScoobyDoo series does everything it can to stomp out any hint of romantic feelings between characters, so it's pretty reasonable to think that the relationships between the gang would be, the same. For a show in the 1960s, it's relatively gender neutral anyway.
Number 3.
Samurai Jack is proof that if you're cool enough to have a sword, anyone can rock a ponytail. And really, there are tons of stories about female samurai, so it works pretty much perfectly, it isn't even that strange. The entire story of Samurai Jack could work with almost no changes except that Jack would just happen to be female.
Number 2.
Ed and Eddie is a show about a group of idiots being friends, but also idiots. But there might be a little too much innuendo to leave everything exactly the same. For starters, there is no way in hell they would be able to call a preteen girl Double D, and the whole thing about drill breakers popping out of their cheeks would probably look bad too.
Number 1.
Maybe if Dexter was a girl, Dee would respect her privacy a little more. But honestly, the series would probably play out exactly the same. Diddy would still be annoying the crap out of Dexter, regardless. This video was made possible by our fans over on Patreon. Thanks for your support, guys.
That is it for this countdown. Have a good one!